Hey fellas, your boy French Fry Warriors here with a more analytical video for today where we'll be analyzing Records of Ragnarok Round 1, Thor vs Lubu. Humanity's Ultimate Warrior versus Norse Pantheon's Ultimate Warrior. First, I'll be going over their flashbacks, then next, I'll be going over the fight, and finally, I'll explain my analysis for the fight. Meaning, we'll be going more in depth about the theme and messages throughout the fight, why it turned out the way it did, both strategically and plot-wise, how I felt about the fight overall, and looking more into why certain characters won or lost. If you already saw this whole fight and don't need a recap, then I would advise you skip to this time on the screen to go straight to my analysis. I'll probably throw a timestamp in the description as well that you could click to. I will only go over the backstory and the fight itself. I won't be going in depth about the volume process, and I won't be going over every little event or any world building concepts that occur during the fight, unless absolutely need be. I would still, however, encourage you to go read the fight for yourself to get every crucial detail, and do what I did and watch Amias D's manga version of it, which is absolutely fire as well. I'll leave his channel link in the description too. By the way, subscribe and give this video a like to let me know if you want more videos like this, because I definitely wouldn't mind going over all the Record of Ragnarok matches, especially the ones that a vast majority of the community seems to deem as their favorite fight. Your support is always appreciated, and with that, let's get into it. Thor, the Norse Pantheon warrior who lived amongst Asgard. Asgard being a relatively peaceful place that was surrounded by high walls to defend against Jotunheim giants. Due to a long history of peace and prosperity, along with underestimating the giants, the guardian angels grew complacent and defenses were slacking. Then, one year, a group of 66 giants attacked the wall, with the assistance of one mega giant knocking the gate down. Getting some real Attack on Titan vibes here. The guardian angels attempted to fight back, but was easily overwhelmed, leaving Asgard about to be destroyed. That is until Thor comes in and slays all 66 giants on his own, all while being incredibly bored and depressed that he has no one that could compete with his monster's strength. And with that, he is the first to offer himself to fight in the first round of Records of Ragnarok. Now for Lubu, I'll just be going over the flashback in round 1, and not his side story, as most of it just shows off more feats for him and makes him look like, honestly, like a way stronger character than we thought, and helps him develop as a character a bit more. Check it out if you got the chance. Anyway, our fierce warrior Lubu originated from the region of our present day Inner Mongolia, where he's traveled across the Eurasian continent to find someone to match his strength. Over time, after killing countless people, he gained the reputation of a barbaric warrior, or known as the God of War. But at the same time, he amassed followers into an army and became the strongest warlord of the three kingdoms. However, despite all this fame and followers, Lubu came to the realization that no one on earth would be able to match his strength, and with that, he fell into a boredom so deep that eventually he let himself be captured and executed due to being in a boring life. As a kid, he once saw lightning strike a tree, and from then on, he knew that there would be someone amazing to fight in the heavens. Later, we see him consistently hone his special technique to the point where he sliced the sky in two, causing even his halberd to crumble away afterwards. He named this technique Sky Eater. After having their intros and introducing us to their squad mates, Heimdall blows his horn signaling to begin. Both Thor and Lubu drop their weapons and walk towards each other, not caring about what the other's opening move is. They simply plan to end the fight in one strike as usual. However, to both of their surprise, each managed to block the other one's first blow, making it a first for both of them. They seem to be equal, and Zeus commends the human for being able to keep up so far and warns of Thor's true power. With that, Thor goes into a bending stance and charges his hammer with electricity, recognizing Lubu as a worthy man to use this technique on. Thor unleashes his technique, Thor's hammer, and most people at this point thought that Lubu was done for. But Brunhilde still has faith in Lubu, and letting his guard down, Lubu pushes Thor's hammer back and quickly delivers a slash across his chest, also recognizing that Thor is pretty good as well. The gods were stunned that Thor was injured by a mortal. However, despite that, only one thought came to both fighters, and it was that they both could have been rivals had they been born of the same race. Thor and Lubu are psyched that they finally found someone worthy of fighting. Meanwhile, Zeus tries to speculate how a human weapon can even contest against a divine weapon. Afterwards, we get an explanation on how the Valkyries are putting their lives on the line by using themselves to transform into divine weapons suited for the fighter to contest the god's weapons. Zeus figures this concept out shortly afterwards as well. Knowing of Thor's gauntlets, the Yarngraper, Lubu was given the fourth Valkyrie's ability, Rangriz, meaning shield breaker. This allowed Lubu to shadow one of Thor's gauntlets, making the audience believe that Thor will no longer be able to wield Mjolnir since the gauntlets were used to protect Thor from the lava's intense heat. Or so we thought. After the human audience begins to believe they have surpassed their creators and Lubu lands another strike, Mjolnir starts to heat up, pulsate, and veins pop out, signifying that it has awakened. Here, Zeus explains the misconception of the gauntlets and that the real purpose of them was to prevent Thor from crushing or injuring Mjolnir prior to its awakening. Thor acknowledges Lubu's name, powers up, and requests that he doesn't die on him quickly. Lubu becomes thrilled at the sound of that. The god audience also becomes excited to see Thor finally go serious for once. Thor starts off by throwing his hammer at Lubu, and it's stated that due to Mjolnir's powers and throwing it a bunch of times, that this move had 100% chance of being hit or hitting its target. Lubu surprisingly bends under and dodges it and begins to rush in on the wide open Thor. However, Mjolnir comes spinning back towards Lubu again. Still though, he dodges once again and spins the hammer, now going towards Thor. At this stage, it's revealed that Thor really threw Mjolnir to build up its speed and centrifugal force, all to create his ultimate attack, Gyardo. Before striking, Thor displays his best smile, and Lubu shows his worst. Lubu's horse, Red Hair, becomes alarmed by this attack, and we quickly see that Lubu was able to tank Thor's ultimate move, but not without some consequences, as we see Lubu's legs shatter due to the impact. Lubu falls to the ground and is unable to fight anymore. Before delivering the final blow, Red Hair rushes in and inspires Lubu and the others not to give up. The human audience starts to cheer for Lubu, and sure enough, the warrior gets back up on his shattered legs and hops on Red Hair. This greatly excites Thor. Hermes questions if this should be allowed, and Zeus allows it since he sees Red Hair as an extension of Lubu. Lubu begins the charge and sets up for his final ultimate attack, the Sky Eater, as he sees Thor worthy enough. Thor feels the same way and admits that humans are interesting, and he sets up his Gyardo once more. Sky Eater versus Gyardo. Both fighters knowing instinctively that this would be their strongest strike. They finally clash, and at the end of it all, Lubu's Volund shatters, and he himself loses the clash along with some limbs. Lubu accepts his defeat as he was able to give it everything he had and rushes one last time towards Thor. His final thoughts being able to experience that joy he's been seeking, and shortly afterwards is killed instantly with Thor's hammer decapitating him. Poor Chang Gong is devastated, leaving Thor as the winner for the first round of Ragnarok. Now, let's first see why Lubu lost. He lost mainly because he didn't try to strategize against Thor and just tried to tank all of his attacks and go blow for blow. This is further supported when his boy Chang'an tries to come up with battle plans for him, but Lubu always disregards them and plows through the enemy. Even in his side story battles, we see that he constantly tanks attacks with some dodges. Admittedly, he did try to counter Thor when he threw his hammer, but that move had 100% accuracy, so Lubu probably had no choice but to tank it. Lubu might be the ultimate warrior, but at the end of the day, he is still human. Thor simply won due to his raw strength, 100% accuracy attack, wielding the broken Mjolnir, which is basically Heaven's strongest weapon, and the gauntlets that serve to block most attacks. To be fair though, everyone thought destroying the gauntlets would secure the victory, but it made things worse. Him going all out was even unknown to the gods, as they'd never seen him fight that serious. This man was just full of buffs and surprises. Going off that point, I believe that plot-wise, Thor had to win, because before fighting Lubu, Thor was a depressed, lonely guy with no rival. However, Lubu changed that for Thor, to the point where Thor even gained respect for humans and admiration as well, for it was them that gave him some meaningful joy in his life. Lubu was also in the same identical state, as he too felt joy, but once again, plot-wise, Lubu just couldn't win round 1, because it would have made the gods look weak and easy. Thor, in my opinion, also seemed like he has too much potential and might be used again in the later chapters. Overall, I think this fight served its purpose in the best way possible. It was a simple fight where two ultimate warriors were finally able to go all out and see which one is truly ultimate. It also reveals the message/theme that humans can truly stand up to the gods and actually have a chance to save themselves and even surpass the god. However, they must try to evolve past the gods and not simply try to overpower or tank their attacks, because this is what will lead to the defeat. Lubu's purpose in Record of Ragnarok was to show that all this is possible. Now, I don't see this fight as being the best, but being the very first fight for Record of Ragnarok, this served as a very good intro as to what to expect in the future, especially with the gore. It also contains a good amount of world building to answer some questions or wonders we may have had before the fight began. With me first reading this, I thought to myself similar to Gull and was worried about how Lubu could possibly stand a chance against the Thunder Berserker Thor. But to my surprise, Lubu is dummy strong. Dude tanked one of Thor's serious blows and almost tanked his ultimate technique. Gained my respect after that, because that Gyarados move would have obliterated me. Even a bigger respect for him being able to stand on broken legs to get his last attack in. The pain and agony must have been excruciating. I really think y'all should go check out the side story, because it really amps up his feats and really show that he could probably solo the whole human verse. Well, maybe not Adam, but every other human he could probably do that against. I didn't expect Thor to have a huge Mjolnir hammer with him, but it ends up working really well because I enjoyed the moveset he's shown us. And it's also funny how Thor basically was nerfing himself with the gauntlets, similar to Kenpachi's eye patch idea from Bleach. Also, Red Hair being able to team up with Lubu was a cool, unique thing about this fight as well. The best part though is them finding absolute joy in fighting each other seriously. You know, like the strongest person is the loneliest cliche because no one else could match them type stuff. Why do you think my boy Madara had so much fun with Hashirama? Final class was sick and nice to see, but I really didn't think Lubu's skinny halberd was gonna outdamage and awaken Mjolnir. Despite the fight being short, I see that it's due to being an intro fight, that had to explain certain concepts like Volund, divine weapons, and the Valkyrie's vital role in the tournament. I also wish we got to see Lubu interact with Rangriz at least once. It was kind of weird that they didn't say anything to each other even before dying. I mean, who knows, maybe Lubu would have gotten some power up if they formed a better connection or something like that, you know? Well guys, that's my analysis on this fight. If you guys interpret it differently, then let me know in the comments below. I enjoy seeing how you guys think and hearing about the things that y'all noticed that I may have not noticed or not picked up on. Lastly, let me know if y'all want me to rank these fights as we go through the series. I could make a tier list at the end of the video and show where I place each fight, maybe the fighters as well. Let me know by subscribing, liking the video, and commenting if y'all would like that. Thank you all once again for your time and for tuning in to this video. I really do appreciate the support. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.